Good morning and welcome to the new episode of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. The recent happenings in Karnataka raise a very pertinent question. Who is to wear what? Is it to be decided by the person who wears? Or is it to be decided by the government? Or schools and college managements? Or with the lumpen elements out to harass people? As a matter of fact, in ordinary course of life, one has a right to dress the way one likes, subject to the condition that it doesn't violate the security of the other people or the moral code. In schools, it's normal to have a dress code, and if you belong to a section of society that doesn't adhere to the dress code, it's better not to get admission to school. Now, for example, there can be, and there are Christian missionary schools, and they have a dress code. So have the Arya Samaj institutes, so have the Sikh institutes, so have the Muslim institutes. But if the Muslim institutes say that everybody has to wear a hijab, and a Sikh girl goes and gets admission over there in a girls' madrasa, and is asked to wear a hijab, there is nothing wrong with that because that's a institution meant primarily for the Muslims. Similarly, a Sikh institute cannot order people to have a beard, carry kirpan, or tie a turban. Although there have been cases, for example, Khalsa College Amritsar, there was a principal, Wadan, he was a Christian, but he would tie a turban. Nevertheless, in the schools there is a dress code, but in the colleges there are none. And the recent happenings in Karnataka show that the political authorities, the educational authorities, and the lumpen agreement elements of forcing girls who wear hijab not to wear it. Why? Young people of 18 and above are eligible to vote. They are allowed to drive and marry and have children. But when they start college and university education, the institutes assume that they have to tell them what to wear, how much distance they should maintain, who they should or should not meet, whether they can interact with the individuals from the other gender or not. We frequently read in the newspapers that this university or that college has issued a dress code and asked women not to wear tight jeans or t-shirts or wear a dupatta after setting people with the opposite gender. Why can't we leave these people to have their own decisions? But if there is a dress code, then college authorities must adhere to it. The second question that arises is, can the dress code be changed to satisfy the lumpen elements? Till recently, the girls have been wearing hijab in those Karnataka colleges. And there was nary a problem. But now some students thought it on themselves to have the saffron scarves violating the dress code. I think, look here, if hijab can be worn, why not scarves? Agreed, absolutely. So what's there the noise about? If the hijab was permitted a few years back, a couple of years back even, a couple of months back even, why object to that now? But scarves, were they permitted or are they new addition? You see, when you start wearing something, it becomes a custom, it becomes a routine, people come to accept it. And a long usage sets a convention, and conventions are as important as law is. There is no doubt, and I've always been saying, that the public places need code of conduct and behavior. We regulate a variety of behavior through laws and norms. The question is about the colleges. Should the code of conduct be made by the administration, imposed by the administration, administered by the administration? Or do we allow lumpen elements to dictate? The same thing has happened all over. If the dress code has been there, then of course it should have been adhered to. The point should be whether the dress code has been violated or not. And let me tell you, it has not been violated. I have always been against hijab, you know. I have never favored discovery. But if it has been a part of acceptance, why change it today? Except to create a condition, a situation which is not conducive to it. Why this urge to control and police dress, body, communication and interaction? You know, in USA, there's a college, Harvard Mudd College. They have a very strong code of incoming students who are supposed to adhere to it. And they're supposed to uphold the conduct. So when the students buy the conduct, when they sign the agreement, it's okay. But can you change the agreement between? No. It's more like an honor code. And that is what should be. And what I loved about Harvard Mudd College is that those violations are dealt with by student-run governance system, and it's more of an honor code book. The violators themselves inform the government and the college. Now, can you imagine this in Pakistan? Or here what is happening in Canada? Sorry, in India, Karnataka? No. Now, coming to the reality of the situation, as I said, if it's a minority institution, then the dress code by the minority should be adhered to, and the majority students should not take admission simply to create a problem. But if it's a government-run institution, it's a secular institution, as a public institution, then what? The problem is that you cannot force people to wear. In Bengal, West Bengal, some time back, the government ordered that the girls shall not wear salwar and kameez. They shall only wear sari. Why? There was no dress code till that time, and you can wear a sari, but no color. So it was not a dress code. It was only anti-certain dress dictate. And naturally that was violated and should have been violated. Now coming to hijab per se, the objection should not be to hijab. The objection should be to parda, the chadar. Hijab, you can see the whole face, but not in a chadar or not in a burqa. The objection should, I agree that the security concerns are very important, but can those security concerns override individual freedom? Yes, they should. But is the individual freedom threatened when the face is visible? The spate of the college hijab bans and the student protests erupted across northern Karnataka suggests the need of having a good debate. Supporters of the ban argue the institutions gave uniform that should be adhered to. Agreed. But if the girls, as I said, have been wearing that dress for years without a problem, why this sudden change? Is it not incumbent on the government to ensure that this should not have happened? Not one college so far has communicated what the uniform policy is. No. Now, if you have a uniform policy and some girls wear bindi, some wear turban, kadas, jewelry, vibhuti, the ash mark, the tilk, would it be part of the uniform? Then how does it define hijab? Or does it ban all headscarves? If a student drapes a dupatta over her head, does it violate the rule? Because dupatta over the head and over the neck is just hijab, nothing more than that. And you can see girls in Punjab, the Sikh girls, the Hindu girls, wear dupatta on the head, and then they wound it round their neck. So it is hijab. Importantly, when was this imposed? Were the students told at the time of admission that they cannot wear hijab? Now you would say that I have changed my opinion. No, I have not. As I said, I am against telling anybody, but forcing or changing horses in mid-stream is something which is not acceptable. And then, secondly, it should be the same for everybody. If you wear hijab and it's banned, then you should ban dupatta as well. And then, if you look at the uniform, 90% didn't even mention the word turban, which Sikhs wear compulsorily because of the religious dictates. Would they dare ban turbans? No. So then why ban hijab? Be very specific. Say that, okay, shirt would be this, trousers would be that. Fine, accept it. But then don't go right from the foot to the tip to toe. Tomorrow you might be saying, you shall not wear open sandals. Yes, if you have put it in the uniform code, before the admission of a student, that is acceptable. If you have put it after, midway, no, it's not acceptable. And it should not have happened. Now look at the political authorities. Not a single political authority at any level has said that these lumpen elements, wearing saffron clothing around their neck, saffron, shouting slogans, passing snide marks, are doing something wrong. Not a single newspaper has condemned that action. That action needs to be condemned. And if you want to ban hijab, nothing objectionable, okay, ban it. But then have a clear-cut policy that this shall be permitted, this shall not be permitted, and make it applicable from the next new admissions, not even for the students, as long as the students who got admission when the dress code, not banning hijab, was imposed, till they cleared their colleges, they shall not be covered by the new policy. That should be the normal way of action. But do we always talk sensibly? Do we always behave in a manner that should be? As a matter of fact, I'm amazed. I think in the colleges and the university there should be no dress code. These young adults are making big decisions that impacts not only their own lives, their own families, but even the decisions of the world. And in the 3 to 4 years, they are going to make even the more important decisions, both for their active life, social life, and for country's life. Those who we do not trust in the terms of how they dress, how can you trust them to represent you in the parliament, make laws for you? Or do we want to move towards creating an environment where the adults learn not to take decisions? The stakes are very high. I can understand that if this had happened in a primary school, it would not have been a matter of concern. But this is the universities and the colleges. This is a period when students or the youth of that has made very strong commitments, and we are not doing justice to them. As a matter of fact, it's the responsibility of the administration and the management to tell, okay, you have objections to hijab, we can discuss it. Let's sort it out. And let's, if the need is there, provided need is there, which is not there, ban it, but not for the students who are now enrolled. let the new enrollees come up. But look at the danger. You are going to create fissures in the society which may not be in the best interest either of the education or of the country. And that would be something which borders on being a traitorous action, an act of treachery on the part of the management and a system. What we need is the reboot of our thinking, reboot of our capacity to examine our actions in the light of the need. Those times are past when you could dictate with impunity. Today you cannot and you should not. Again, the considerations of personal liberty are paramount. Equally important is the security. And if the security is not threatened, nobody has a right to impose any restriction on how you dress. Tomorrow you'll be saying how you walk. That is absolutely unacceptable. And the sooner the people realize it, the better it will be for them, for the nation, and the society as a whole. Are we going to act sensibly? That's a $1,000,000 question facing the nation today. And not only Karnataka, not only India, but the world over. You have got to ensure that your priorities are proper, that the narrow sectarian walls of which Tagore have to be demolished, and demolished without any unnecessary delay. The sooner, the better. Thank you.